Hi guys, Bob Thompson for Smartphone Matters. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Google Project Fi prepaid wireless service. In my last video about Project Fi, I showed you guys the Signal Check Lite app. You can use this app to see which cellular network your Google Project Fi phone is using. Google Project Fi is supposed to use both the T-Mobile and the Sprint network and switch back and forth depending on which network has the best signal. Now in my previous videos, I've talked about how I've only seen my Nexus 6 using Project Fi connect to the T-Mobile network. I had never seen it connect to the Sprint network. Well, I just wanted to share this update with you guys. I have finally seen it connect to the Sprint network, and I just wanted to tell you about it and share my results. I was in a suburb of Boston today. The T-Mobile connection was not very good. In fact, my phone wasn't working. So I restarted it, and when I did, it connected to the Sprint network. I think I took a few screenshots here so I can share with you what I saw. Let's take a look at some of these screenshots. I think you can see this pretty clearly here in this picture. I was connected to the Sprint network this morning. You can see I have a 1X RTT connection and an EVDO connection. It was a very slow data connection. I actually ran some speed tests. That kind of was reflected in the results. Now, as I was moving from that suburb, driving around through some of the other suburbs, I switched back to T-Mobile. So you can see that I had an HSPA connection to T-Mobile. And then in other areas, I had an LTE connection with Sprint. Now, in fact, on my way back to my office, I picked up an LTE connection on Sprint. My phone stayed connected to the Sprint network even as I got back to my desk. A little while ago, I restarted my phone and then it connected back to the T-Mobile network. So it seems like Project Fi will switch back and forth between the networks and then it'll hold on to that network connection if it's good enough. I also ran speed tests several times. You can see I have a lot of results here. 2.5 megabits per second down, 0.35 megabits per second down, a couple ones and threes. And I'm not going to go over these all in great detail. These 13.93 and 19.62, those were while connected to the Sprint LTE connection. And then later getting back here to my desk, speeds in the 4s and 5s. The upload speeds were nothing really too impressive, all under 1 megabit per second. Didn't see very good upload speeds really in any area with the Sprint connection. But the point being, I just wanted to share that it did work. I was able to use my phone because it switched back and forth between the two networks. My other phone, my iPhone 6, is using the ATT network, and I had a connection in all the areas that I was today. So I'm still not 100% convinced that using a network that combines T-Mobile and Sprint is as good as using either the ATT network or the Verizon network. Now, ATT and Verizon are the number 1 and number 2 wireless providers in the United States, maybe not in that order, but they are both 1 and 2, and Sprint and T-Mobile are 3 and 4. So the question really remains is, does adding the 3rd and 4th largest wireless company, combining those two networks together, equal something as good or better as the ATT network only or the Verizon network only? And I don't really have an answer for that question. But I just wanted to let you know that I did see it switch. It switched dynamically. At one point, I had to reboot the phone to get that initial connection to the Sprint network. And then it seemed to stay connected to the Sprint network until I got back here, and it remained connected to the Sprint network until I rebooted my phone, and then it connected back to the T-Mobile network. If you found this video useful, give us a like on YouTube. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to the Smartphone Matters YouTube channel. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave them below or head on over to Smartphone Matters and leave a reply, and I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.